Okay, so now we need to create the actual content of this screen, the modules that track our different health stats, the first of which is our steps. So that rounded orange box that we see on our reference. And really quickly, I created two new guides. One is 12 vertical guides. One is 12 pixels from the left, which is exactly where this segmented control is. The other is 12 pixels from the right. So type in 1230 pixels when you create a new guide from window new or view new guide. So create those guides really quickly. We're going to use those to make sure this box is perfect. Now, I also know that the distance is not only 12 pixels here, it's 12 pixels from this gray line down. So if you recall, this entire section was 310 pixels down to the bottom of this gray line. So if we add 12 more to that, then we know that it's 322 pixels is where this box should start, somewhere right around here. And if I zoom in, that's going to be somewhere right around here. Let me zoom back out. So I'm going to create a new guide, and I'm just going to go 322 pixels. I'm adding 12 to 310 pixels. And let's go ahead and make this a horizontal guide. And there we see we have that exact 12 pixel difference right here, 12 pixel difference right here. We're going to get the perfect dimensions for our box. Let's go ahead, we'll do one more guide so we get the exact dimensions. And I'm going to go ahead, and I know that it is 871 pixels to the bottom of that. So go ahead, 871 pixels, make sure it's selected horizontal. And this is the square where our rounded box will go. So let's go ahead, and we're going to grab the rounded rectangle tool, and we're going to let's make the radius a little bit bigger. It's definitely more circular in this. I'm going to go up to, let's do 20. We could even do 25 pixels, and I'm actually just going to test this really. That looks about right. Control Z. And let's create this rounded rectangle, make sure we're getting exact. I'm going to zoom in a bit, maybe into 300. Come up in this corner and make sure it just barely touches both, which it is, which is perfect. And I'm going to just come outside the document and drag it while holding this so we can get the whole thing. And sometimes when you're zoomed in this far, it helps being perfect and seeing exactly where your guides are, but it also is kind of a pain in the butt when it comes to dragging these elements. So I'm going to make sure that these are perfectly touching the guides, and there we go. All right, I'm going to zoom back out to 100, and we have the makings of our first module. Well, we need to apply a gradient, and I do not know why. This is actually above the reference layer. I'm going to drag this all the way down, and I want to drag this. Actually, I'm going to put this above the top area folder, and I'm going to create an entire new group. So let's go to Layer, New, and create a group. And we're going to call this Main Content, and this is going to be the center where all of our main content is. So OK, and I'm going to make sure that I drag this inside that folder. And I'm going to hide the top area folder so we don't get confused. And let's call this Module 1 Background. Well, we need to change the color now, and we're going to use a gradient to get that fade that we see in our reference here, this orange to red fade. So let's go ahead and hide this again. And I want to come over here on the text out here or anywhere out here and double click the layer. Oops. And we're going to pull up our layer style. Let's go over to gradient overlay and apply a gradient by clicking check. Now we need to change the gradient, so let's hover over the gradient color. And the white color, the right side of this gradient is going to be the top color. So if we just click this color, stop, and click the white, we can now come down to the color section here and change it. So go ahead and type in exactly what I type in, and this is going to be FF9551. And this is going to get us that orange color that it starts with. Well, we'll notice this is fading into black, which looks absolutely terrible. That's fine. If we come down here below and select the black color, we can change this color as well, and we're going to get that red color that it fades into, and that is FF3D31 is the exact color. So let's select OK, and make sure that the angle is set to 90%, that you're getting that fade from top to bottom. and we have opacity at 100 and the scale at 100% and select OK. Let's go ahead and look at the reference, make sure that we are on track, and we are because it looks the exact same, because it is. We're using the same exact colors. So let's begin putting in some text in here and creating the rest of this module.